Hey there, guitar fanatics. Welcome back or welcome to the channel. Let's get right to it. You know, most guitar players I know are pretty convinced that they need to continually learn new stuff. While in reality, maybe the best way to make real progress with your guitar playing is to go really deep into a limited number of concepts. Today, I'm going to show you how I take one simple concept that I picked up from listening to Eric Johnson and use that concept to create potentially an unlimited amount of guitar licks. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm Charlie Long. Let's play some guitar. So I've always been a fan of Eric Johnson. I guess the reason is back in an era when shredding was a thing, and pretty soon ceased to be a thing because it seemed that all the shredders were playing all the same licks in all the same ways, Eric was a radically different voice. Oddly enough, I've never really spent a lot of time breaking down his techniques. But I saw a video recently from 2014 where he was playing over a Hendrix tune called May This Be Love. And right away in the first pass over the chord changes, he played a couple of his trademark arpeggio licks. So he played this over an E chord. And he played this over an A chord. And what struck me right away was he wasn't using just one arpeggio over a chord, he was using two. He was employing a technique called superimposing, which is nothing more than playing a different scale or arpeggio than the chord you're actually soloing over. And for both of the licks that I just played, Eric first played an arpeggio of a chord a fifth interval above the chord he was actually soloing over before playing the arpeggio of that chord. Anyway, it finally made it through my thick head that this is one of the reasons that Eric's licks and lines sound so elegant and distinctive. That set me off on a little bit of exploration, creating my own licks using this technique. All we have to do is move around the neck and find spots where we can conveniently play the two arpeggios that make up our 5-to-1 formula. Let's stick to playing over an E chord, so we'll have a B major to E major change, and we're going to move around from string to string and play a few different ideas. So starting on the low E string, we've got a B major triad with the B at the 7th fret of the low E, and frets 6 and 9 of the A string, we've got D sharp and F sharp. So after we play that F sharp at fret 9 on the A string, we're going to create a little motion by dropping back to the D sharp at fret 6. So far we have this. And then we're going to move to the E triad at fret 7 of the A string and frets 6 and 9 of the D string. Okay, so that gives us a template to start with. Let's play that same lick starting at the B at the 2nd fret of the A string. We've got a B at the 9th fret of the D string. We're going to have to change the shape of the E triad because of the tuning of the B string, but it's still easy. And we've got a B at the 4th fret of the G string. Now the value of being able to find this little template all over the neck is that there's going to be lots of different options available to you at the different parts of the fretboard. And here's where we get into the whole infinite guitar licks thing, because now we're going to start to do some variations on where the lick goes after we play our little template. For instance, let's play our starter lick starting with the B at the 4th fret of the G string. Then from there, we could do something like this. Where I'm basically playing through the E major scale, but around that E arpeggio there at the 4th fret. Put that all together, it would sound like this. let's do another variation on that first lick. I'm gonna play our template. We're playing 16th notes here. The track's kind of slow. It's 92 beats a minute, so not too tough to deal with. From there, I'm gonna slide up to the 9th fret, and I'm gonna play frets 9, 7, 5 on the E and B strings. That's C sharp, B, A, G sharp, F sharp, and E. So we're going right down the E major scale, basically. Then we're going to play the F sharp at fret 7 again, the G sharp at fret 9, and then I'm going to slide into the 9th fret, and then play fret 7 and 5, so F sharp and E to end the lick. We put that all together. What if we were to jump up to the B at the 9th fret of the D string, followed by our E major arpeggio? That puts us right in the middle of E major pentatonic pattern 5, which would give us all sorts of options to play along with our 5-to-1 arpeggio lick. For instance, we could play our template and then do a little pedal point thing where I'm going to use the E at the 12th fret of the E string as the pedal point, and I'm just going to work down the E major scale. Before finishing the lick with a little legato, I'm playing the G sharp at the 9th fret, A, and then B at frets 10 and 12. And then I slide from the A into the B at fret 12 to end the lick. Here it is slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is over our backing track. Now, as another variation, we could play that open E and then the E at the 7th fret as a lead-in, like Eric Johnson did in the licks I played earlier in the examples. Then we could play our template. Then grab the E at the 12th fret of the E string, and then slide from the 14th fret, F sharp, to the G sharp at the 16th fret. Now that lick could totally stand on its own. That's a complete idea. But what if we kind of tweak the ending a little bit? Rather than just sliding up into that G sharp of the 16th fret, how about after we slide into the G sharp, we play back down frets 14 and 12, 14 again, then slide into the 14th fret on the B string, and pull off to the B at fret 12 on the B string. That lick would sound like this. Here it is over our backing track. Now again, this is why I say you can create unlimited guitar licks with this type of practicing, because we took a lick that said, hey, that sounds okay, but let me just tweak the ending of it a little bit. And I'm going to do it one more time. So basically, we came up with this one idea for a lick. We've turned it into 3. Check this out. So we're going to proceed through the lick just as we did before. We've got our low E, E at the 7th fret, our little template, the 12th fret, slide into 16, Now I'm going to play the A at the 17th fret, back to the 16th fret, that A again, and then I'm going to bend that A a whole step up to B. Slowly, it would sound like this. And here it is over the backing track. Now, let's switch things up again. We're going to vary the pattern of our template lick. We've been playing B and E triads that start on the root and ascend. Let's play some arpeggios that start on different notes of the triad and descend. Let's play this B major arpeggio shape starting on the 5th, which is an F sharp at the 14th fret of the E string. So we play frets 14 and 11 on the E string, fret 12 on the B string, which is our root note, and fret 11 on the G string. And now we're going to switch to E by playing the 14th fret on the E string. We're going to slide into the G sharp at fret 16. That is the major third of E. Then we're going to play E at the 12th fret, B at the 12th fret of the B string. And we're going to end up at the G sharp at the 13th fret of the G string. So we've got our intro notes, B, E. And here it is over the backing track. Let's try one made up of the B major arpeggio at the top few strings. We're down at the 7th fret, this shape. And then the E major arpeggio that's around the 4th fret, this shape. We play our 2 lead-in E notes. Then we start on the major third of B and play down the arpeggio. So we play frets 11, 7, and then fret 7 on the B string, fret 8 on the G string. Then we're going to do a little position shift down to that E shape at the 4th fret. We're going to play fret 7 and 4 on the E string, B and G sharp. We got fret 5 on the B string, that's the root E note, fret 4 on the G string. And then we're going to slide into fret 6 from fret 4 on the D string. We're going to finish off that lick by playing the 7th fret of the D string with a little legato passage. We're going to play fret 7 on the D string, pull off to fret 6 and 4, and then slide down into the 2nd fret. We're going to play the F sharp at fret 4 of that D string and then slide into the G sharp at fret 6. So we end the lick on the major third of E. Here it is slowly. And here it is up to speed over the backing track. So I hope you're getting a good feel for the process here. What I'm showing you here is the exact same way that I practice this stuff and come up with licks. We've just played through 8 licks that I put together by taking the concept of a B arpeggio into an E arpeggio. We find those arpeggios near each other on the fretboard, decide whether to play them ascending or descending, pick a note to start on, and just let the ideas flow. And once we get through the 2 arpeggios, we finish up the lick by experimenting with notes that are around those arpeggios that work over our E chord. I call this process, for lack of a better term, experimenting within a structure. And it's how you can come up with idea after idea. And they're not all going to be great, but that's okay. When you get a really good one, write it down or record it. Practice it, hone the phrasing until it's really nice. Then move it around the fretboard and learn to play it in every key. And what's going to happen is you're going to deeply ingrain these ideas and you're going to be able to call upon them when it's your turn to improvise or record a solo. I'm going to leave you with 2 more lick ideas, and we're going to do a very Eric Johnson-ish thing and use open or spread triads. They're the basis of some of his most famous wide interval string skipping sounds. To play an open triad, instead of playing the notes in order like 1, 3, 5 or 3, 5, 1, we would play, for instance, the root, but skip the 3rd and play the 5th next. Then we play the 3rd, but we play it an octave higher than where it would normally be. So we get this sound. Here's our normal arpeggio. Here's our open triad. Very cool. So let's make up a lick using the B and E open triads at the 7th fret. So we're going to first do our 2 E note to get things going. Then we're going to play the B at the 7th fret of the low E, F sharp at the 9th fret of the A string, and then we're going to skip over to the D sharp at the 8th fret of the G string. And then we're going to finish that part by sliding into the E at the 9th fret. We're going to move to our E open triad by playing the E at the 7th fret of the A string, B at the 9th fret of the D string, skipping over to the G sharp of the 9th fret of the B string. Then we're going to play A at the 10th fret, B at the 12th fret. So here's what we've got so far. Now that lick sounds so good to me that we could actually stop it right there, or we could also do something like play B and C sharp at frets 12 and 14 of the B string, E and F sharp at frets 12 and 14 of the E string, G sharp at the 16th fret, and then do something dramatic like slide up into the B note at the 19th fret. Let's play that all slowly. And here it is, up to speed over the backing track. For our 10th lick, let's go back to the B arpeggio template we started with. So B, D sharp, F sharp, D sharp, down on the low E and A strings. And then we're going to move to our E open triad. So far we've got we're going to then play the A and B at frets 10 and 12 on the B string. Now let's do something really dramatic. We're going to jump up to the 21st fret of the E string. We're going to play frets 21, 19, 17, and 16. Then we're going to play 17, 19, and slide into 19 from 17 to re-articulate that note and give it some vibrato. Here's the whole thing slowly. That is a great sounding lick. Here it is over the backing track. I can't stop there. I'm going to leave you with a bonus lick. We're going to incorporate some serious EJ sound by using 4 spread triads and some pentatonic runs in groupings of 5. Let's start out with our 2 lead-in notes, which is the open E and then the E at the 7th fret of the A string. And then here comes our 4 open triads. We've got B major at frets 9 of the D string, then frets 11 of the G and E string. We've got C sharp minor with fret 11 of the D string, fret 13 of the G string, fret 12 of the E string, Another inversion of B, we're going to be at fret 13 of the D string, 16 of the G string, 14 of the high E, and then we land on E major with fret 14 of the D string and 16s of frets or strings G and E. Here are those arpeggios played slowly. Here's our B, C sharp minor, B again, and E. And now we're going to follow that up with pentatonic groupings of 5. The first one we're going to play frets 16 and 14 and 12 of the E string, followed by frets 14 and 12 of the B string, then frets 14 and 12 of the E and B string, and we finish the lick by sliding into the G sharp at the 9th fret of the B string. Here's the whole thing slowly. I love that sound. Here it is over our backing track. So there you have 11 licks that we made up by using one concept, and that is playing an arpeggio of the 5 into an arpeggio of the 1, and then following that up with a few extra notes to finish off a lick. Now, we did those all over the E major chord in our progression, but the same concept works perfectly over the other chords in the progression. And those chords are, well, E, of course, which we started on, F sharp minor, A, back to E, and then B. All we have to do is identify the note a fifth from the root of each chord, which we can easily do by going over one string and up 2 frets. So, for instance, if we start on an E, if I go over one string and up 2 frets, I got a B note. So both of those chords in the key of E are major, E major, B major. So if we start on F sharp, if I go over one string and up 2 frets, I've got a C sharp. Both of those chords in the key of E are minor. If I start on A and I go over one string and up 2 frets, I've got an E. Both of those chords in the key of E are major. And the last chord, B, if I start on a B, I go over one string, up 2 frets, I've got an F sharp. And as we've seen, and you should know, the B is going to be major, F sharp is minor in the key of E. I'll play through a quick example for each of these chords to give you something to get your head around. So E to B, we've already done a lot of that. We've got B, E. Now, the F sharp minor chord, we would be approaching that from C sharp. Both of those are minor, so we could have something like this. The A, approaching A from E. The E is major, A is major, so that's pretty easy. Lastly, we've got F sharp minor to B. That F sharp minor is a fifth above the B, so we play F sharp minor first, followed by B major. So I hope you really enjoyed this introduction to the concept of superimposing. And we also got a good look into how we can literally create unlimited guitar licks by really digging into one concept and exploring it. I hope you got a lot out of the video. You're going to put it to good use. I think I'm going to do a few more videos on superimposing because it just gives us so many great options to come up with ideas. Thanks for watching. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're putting out more good content every week. When it comes to your guitar playing, work hard, play hard, have fun, and never stop learning. We'll see you again soon.